Ghost Prime Transformer Reviews. I'm Ghost Prime, and today I'll be taking a look at War for Cybertron Siege Ratchet. That's right, this is the Walgreens exclusive Ratchet figure from the Siege line. Ratchet was one of the original 1984 characters. He harkens back to Diaclone with his mold, where in Diaclone they were piloted mechs, and they weren't sentient robots, so they never had a head. Now, I think this figure actually does a lot of justice to the character. I think this figure looks much better than Ironhide. I like this one way better. This is actually a really good rendition of the character. There's a ton of actual remolded detail on this guy that they didn't necessarily have to do. So it's not a straight repaint. And that's one thing I really like about it, that it's new. It makes something slightly old and makes it newer. It is an exclusive, but it's out. It's pretty readily available on Walgreens.com. It's been at the store. I think my store got 5 or 6 of them. They're out there. They're obtainable. They're fairly simple to get. They're also not in super inflated prices. He retails for about $20, and it's $19.99 in the store. I mean, you used to go to Walgreens and you see like a normal run figure. That's like what, I don't know. I want to say $16, but they're all $19 now. But for $20, they've always been $20, $18, $19, $20 at Walgreens. It's always more expensive at Walgreens. This guy retains its original retail price. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. And as always, let's take a look at the packaging first. Yeah, so this your standard Siege packaging. You got that symbol on the back there, which is I think that's newer in the packaging. You can actually see it here in the blacklight responsive areas. He's got this again with the beautiful artwork on the side and all his glorious detail. On the back, you have his different modes. His medical bay mode, where he turns into a bed. There he is in his ambulance mode. Of course, the side has the regular Siege artwork. Bottom has text and legal jargon. Top with the Autobot logo and the War for Cybertron trilogy logo. The instructions are as one would expect. He says Autobot Ratchet, has a picture of him on the front. There he goes with his RT-15, RT-5 parts list. How to transform him. Into all of his modes. Things you could do with him. Oop, hang on, let me just focus that. And of course, packaged with the figure is you have this little piece that's on a swivel arm. Down here and up here they have joints. So it can move like so. And you get this little gun-like missile gun piece. And a wrench. And of course, the figure himself. And this guy is pretty cool looking. Tons of detail, like all of the Siege figures. Just a massive amount of detail everywhere you look. He's very nice. I love the paint apps on this guy. It's not too egregious in certain areas. It's distributed nicely. I don't mind the it's not battle damage per se, but it's like mud on his shins and on his feet here. Mine does have a little bit of I don't know if that's overspray or what that is on the paint there on his foot on the red. And it doesn't bother me too much. The overall look of the figure is very great. He's got a really, really, really nice head sculpt. Very nice head sculpt. So I'll be right back with some comparisons. All right, first off, let's compare this guy to there is Siege Ironhide. Now, Siege Ironhide and Ratchet actually have a lot different, which I found very surprising. I was seriously thinking that this guy was going to be a straight repaint of him with a different head, which turned out not to be the case. He has, let me get a little closer up so you can see. First things first, he has completely different shoulders and forearms. Both of these are different molds. See the detail on them being different. So the shoulders here, Ratchet has the half of a pseudo light bar. Of course, Ironhide wouldn't have that. They do have the peg holes in the same spots for the figure, or both of the figures. Another point of difference is the crotch piece, which, if you get that in it's crotch in focus, right there, and you can see there is a different piece. The upper legs, the thighs are the same, but the lower leg panels down here, right here, are different. You see this has got a very long, I don't know if you call it a window or not, section to it, and it's much more smooth as to where this one has some more detail built in and different knees. It's very cool. They have the same feet, and these flaps are the same. But I was really surprised. Like I said, I did not expect any different detail on him. Now, also, on the back, as you can see here, he has a different piece here, which becomes the front bumper. That is different on him as well. The tooling on the inside here is different, probably to accommodate the different bumper. But it's not something that's necessary. They could have just repainted it. They could have done a straight repaint. It would have been the same, and it still would have been looked like a nice figure. Everything else from there on out is the same. Of course, the head sculpts are different, and the weapons are different. He does not have any weapon out of his back. He just has this one big gun, as to where Ratchet does have the weapons, as I showed earlier. And you could put these different ways on him. You could connect this here like this and have it be like a mobile wrench, mainly for when he's in car mode or wherever, really. There's also a way to make it like, move it like kind of like this, and take the missile end, and you could have him sort of like this. I don't know, maybe you could hold it like that or something. Go into battle. I mean, there's a lot of options you could do with this guy. You could put it on his shoulder, which does look kind of silly, but the instructions tell you to put this in the front like so, and then take this little piece here, stick it in the middle of the back, over the shoulder, like that. And then, as seen on the box, this goes in his right hand. And he is ready to be a field medic. Now, of course, we'd have to compare him to I don't remember that generation. It's the Classics Generations Ratchet. This is the American version. And yeah, so he's been working out. Lift the little weights, trimming down a little bit. Also, let me just say this plastic looks cheap. I didn't think so at the time. I thought it was fine. Maybe it was just sort of one of the sign of the times, is how things were, so I accepted it. But it almost has this waxy look to it, where this looks nice and solid and it's very bright. This is a very bright white. Actually, it's very, very similar to that of the Masterpiece. Let me just get the camera in focus, or get him in frame. Masterpiece Ratchet. As you can see how they line up together. Now, his little missile thing is reminiscent of the G1 missile, or the little gun thing. It's also reminiscent of this, which you could actually take it off and have put the little, I don't know what you call it, repair gun on his arm there. So I could have it be similar to like that. That is something that you could do with it that I think is a really, really nice little throwback to the cartoon. Very nice. Also, his head sculpt, in my opinion, is much better than the Masterpiece. There's more detail on it. It's filled in better. It doesn't have a weird looking mouth. The sculpt is much better. And last but not least, Generation 1 Ratchet. Now, my little Generation 1 Ratchet here does not have stickers, which is a bummer. I need a sticker sheet for this guy. So he doesn't really have a head at all. No face. No face. But you see this piece right here and this piece right here are indeed very similar. Very similar in shape. Take him out. Now, I'm not going to go through articulation. I went through that with Ironhide or transformation because, again, I went through with Ironhide. But I will show you his other modes. And first up, we have his Med Bay. Med Bay mode, so you would have probably a Battle Master laying there, and you could, this arm could work on him. Like that. I think this mode is kind of a cop-out. It looks okay, actually, I guess, for what it is. The arms don't peg in here. They could have made a modification here, so they pegged in since they did modify this piece already, and it kind of make it a little bit more solid, but as it is, it's not. Pushed down on it, it's not great. Definitely an afterthought. I don't mind it so much. It is kind of cool, but it's an afterthought. Now let's look in get to the van mode. And there is his Cybertronian ambulance mode. Now in ambulance mode, you can see these two shoulder pieces connect together and become sort of like a light bar, which is really cool. Actually looks really good. I like this way better than Ironhide. I just really do. I think it's really nice. It's a nice looking figure. You know, you see some paint come here on the flaps. He still retains the dirt back here, which actually kind of works. Overall, this is a really nice looking retool. I really enjoy this. I didn't think I would. I almost didn't pick up this figure. So you could also stick it on this piece right here. Could go in both the holes. And there you go. So he could also just go like this. Working, you know. Oh, you need help. And he could just go be on his way. Very cool. I dig that. All right, for comparison, here is Ironhide. Now, one thing I just noticed on this as I was transforming it are the wheels. The wheels are different on both of them also. They're also retooled. These look much more off-road is the only way I can describe it because they have a little bit of thickness on them. But overall, they're pretty similar. I just dig this one better. I really do. The new bumper sets the front end off very nicely. It's really, really well done. Well done repaint. I dig it a lot. And this also doesn't stay straight there. That's irritating. Also, with his head being white, you can't see the head in the cockpit as much. It's kind of subdued a little bit more, and he rolls very well. So yeah, I like this guy. I think he's really cool. This little piece on the back is a little weird, but he actually looks really good with it. It's a nice throwback to his Generation 1 toy. He's okay. That alt mode leaves something to be desired. It's definitely one of those, well, we got to think of something else sort of thing to do with him ideas. But it's okay. It pulls it off. It's actually kind of fun as a little medical bed that he turns into, which is neat. You could do some neat things with his weapons. You could hide it completely. So there's a lot of playability with this figure. He's very posable, and man, does he ever look sweet in this deco. So if you happen to see this guy, I would say pick him up if you like the character. He's definitely not in Earth mode, but he does pretty well in the mode he has. He is a very decent figure. The flaps do not pop off like on the Ironhides, at least on mine. I did notice that this dirt here is more prominent or less prominent on some, so make sure you look through them and get the paint that you like on there. It should be easy to take off if you don't like it at all, because it's only on non-painted pieces. Mine does have a little bit of red spillage there. I'm not too mad about that. I could fix that maybe. So please, like, subscribe, hit the downvote button if you have to, and I'll see you next time. Possibly with Impactor, maybe? See you later.